That's a different story. Don't start trouble.
It's scary.
One key. I don't have a key.
Oh, really? Yeah. I might have heard one.
Well, you have
Some years ago, somehow.
That's what Howie's going to do.
Oh, you know what? That's funny. Years ago, I used to do the coffee. Who gave seat about it?
Oh, wow.
I bet you I can find it. I give it to you.
It's not good.
I don't believe
I'm
that.
talking like in 2006.
Yeah, so if everyone could stay after the share, if you're a member, we need 25 guys for a quick membership meeting for 5 minutes, and also there's going to be 12:09 mincha if there is any interest for it.
Is there an interest in people? 12:09. Yeah. We have a 12:09 mincha. That's we'll see if there's a minion. Yeah.
Show of hands.
Remember, mincha is going to be, I think, 4:30. So it's just,
I'll see if I get some people. How many?
Usually, I think we need 10.
No. How many? No. How many hands raised their hand?
I'm kidding.
Only representing with that.
I'm surprised I went back at it. It's the biggest surprise.
Okay. Yeah, we're on. We're on. We're not. We're actually on.
I'll see if I get some people.
I know. But I don't want to.
We'll check at the end of the game.
This is
Okay. First, I want to give Yashikach as always to Rabbi Rahmani and the Mishpacha, the sponsoring Chaburas Yosef HaTadik, Darchi Avinom, Shil Zech and Nishmas his father, Avinom and Chaim Zechar Levach and Sham Shabbat Aliyah, and also to the Parnas HaChaydesh, the Hershkovich family, Li'uli Nishmas Leah Sarah Bas Zev, and the Sham Shabbat Aliyah, and whole family, the Simcha Nachas and Bracha. So, as I said last week, that I wanted to begin this man with tefillah, with davening. Now, obviously, davening means that each one of us goes someplace and we open up whatever we open up, and we daven. But we've been learning about this Indian of Shmiras Habrius and Kedushas Habrius already for quite a few years, and we're going to continue a little bit afterwards, as I said, talk about some diburim of sharing this with kids and how to try it a little bit. To think of ways to work on this with the family, with the kids. But I wanted that after all of this time, the siyata d'shmaya that we need all depends on our tefillah, on our davening. And a lot of chavra are not familiar, A, with the whole avoid of hisbodedus, and B, even if you have tried a little bit of hisbodedus, if you haven't familiarize yourself and use the Likutei Tefillos of Rabbi Nosson, then you're missing a tremendous machshir that enables us to learn how to open up our mouths and to daven for those things in life that we all have to daven for. And Kedushas Habrius is something for ourselves and for our kids, our grandchildren, and for all of Am Yisrael that we have to daven for very strongly. Our whole Geula depends on this. What's happening right now, I'm not going into it at this moment. I've spoken about this. Obviously, there are certain things I can't speak about to Tzibra and Shabbos and so on, but we talk about over here. That's what this Chabur is about. But we have discussed at length many shiurim over these past years that the Nisayon of the end of time, this is the biggest Nisayon, is of Yosef HaTadik. And anybody who has eyes to see and ears to hear know that that's what the biggest Nisayon at the end of time, this Ram already told us would be long ago, that this is the biggest Nisayon, is the Nisayon of Kedushas Habrius. And when it comes to Nisaynis, if a person doesn't daven, you can be the smartest person, you can have all the right ideas, and you can learn all the Torahs, but if it's not together with this tefillah, it doesn't happen. So that's why I wanted to do a little bit, we'll do it today. I don't know if I'm not going to continue the next week, but a little bit more today. We'll continue. You have the pages that Moshe David sent. It's on page Shin Yud. You have it on the phone, Shin Yud. But again, everybody should try to have their own Likutei Tefillas. I spoke about different printings. Have your own Likutei Tefillas. And this should be something which is always part of our davening. So today is not really a limud, it's just to daven a little bit together. But since you don't all have it, I'm just going to say a little bit and hope that we could become accustomed to this avodah. So on page Shin Yud, Uvechein kishem shazart as Yosef HaTadikcha, v'shor shabolid in Yisayin. These are the words of Rabbi Nassim. Kishem shazart as Yosef HaTadikcha, the same way that you helped Yosef HaTadik, v'shor shabolid in Yisayin. When he had that Nisayin with the wife of Potiphar, and you saved him. Remember that there's machlokes Rav and Shmuel in the Gemara in Saita, whether or not he wanted to do that. And according to one opinion, he was waiting for the opportunity that he would be alone with her. It wasn't a surprise. He was waiting for that opportunity. And the Nisayin was a Nisayin that was very, very, very great. Beyond that, we could even be massive, but this was Nisayin. You saved him. And you gave him the koach, the bechira to want to be misgaber. That's how kol b'dei shamayim chutz mi yesh shamayim. You have to have enough yesh shamayim to want to be misgaber, not to give in, stam, to fall. So that's our bechira. And he davened, and yitzalto sof v'nasad lo koach l'sgaber al yitzah. And you gave him the koach to be misgaber on his yitzah. Even when we say in slichus, Mishon Yosef Beis HaSorim, right? Mishon Yosef Beis HaSorim. That means that Yosef HaTadik was davening while he was in jail. During that time that he was as hostage, he was always davening. So that's what I'm talking about. What was the tefillah of Yosef HaTadik? So of course, instinctively, everybody would say, "Get me out of here, to be free." When you look at this from a Kedoshim, that was not the Ikar tefillah. That was something he left more up to Bidei Shamayim. Even though there was an Nisayin that he had to be talking at the end, which we'll talk about more at a different time. But the Ikka Indian of Yosef HaTadik, while he was there, was that according to Chazal, the wife of Potiphar was still after him, right? Even while he was there. And this was an Nisayin that went on. I mentioned it a few weeks ago. This was an Nisayin that was going on during those 10 years on a regular basis. And the Ikar tefillah of Yosef was Misha Onel Yosef Beis HaSorim Hu Yanenu. That was the tefillah of Yosef HaTadik, was this Indian of being this Gabar al Yitzra. So it wasn't like he had one time that this, we all think, okay, it was a heroic thing that he did with the wife of Potiphar, and he made it into the Torah, and maybe I could also get into a parasha like that, make it into the parasha of a Torah. I had a story that I was misgaber, which is worthy of being written up in Tanakh also. Each one of our stories are being written up in Tanakh somehow, in some way, but were already written, but are going to be revealed. But it wasn't just one time. Yosef HaTadik. It wasn't just one parasha. In the Chumash, it's one parasha, but it wasn't just one parasha. So he's davening. So we're asking Hashem, Kein yemu na me'echa rachamecha aleinu. So Hashem, have also rachmanis on us. Which is Akeinu b'schus v'koch Yosef HaTadik. We should always ask when you feel that there's an Yisayin in this Indian, or you want to daven for your sons. Try to always put into those tefillahs in the schus of Yosef HaTadik. I'm asking Hashem to help my Yankee, to help my Moshe. In the schus of Yosef HaTadik. Because you stood for Yosef HaTadik, you helped him. And my kid needs help. Whatever you put in, whatever word you want. But make sure to try to put in the schus of Yosef HaTadik into the tefillah. We should have the seichel and the koach and gvur of kedusha v'oven shenuchal hinatzel mikol minei pagam habris. That we should be able to be saved from all types of pagam habris. V'nuchal is garbal yitzveinu to misgarbar na yitzahara. V'niske shetia machshavteinu kishura u'devuka b'dushascha tamid lihepsek rega. And the strongest way to be protected from pagam habris is to live a life of shivis Hashem nagdi samid. To be connected to Hashem's kedusha, to be a person that's conscious of Hakadosh Baruch Hu's kedusha, that lives. I told you one of the chaverim I mentioned made up to have a sign to keep on your desk, Yesh Bari Olam, and to live with that reality. And so when you're walking someplace, to be a person that lives with that reality of kedusha of the Bari Olam, that should never ever stop. The Sadet Filasein Lefenecha Karoi, Lishum Manea V'ikuv Bilbo. In order that we should be able to daven to you, in a way that we're not confused and there's nothing holding back our tefillas. Of course, every tefillah of Rabbi Nosson is based upon the Torah of Rabbi Nachman. Rabbi Nachman's teachings, the Torahs. And there Rabbi Nachman is explaining, and as all the tzaddikim do, that the main cause of our tefillas, of our difficulty when it comes to davening, has to do with pagam habris. You see that in general, women don't have much of a problem with davening. Right? They have exceptions. There are exceptions, but when it comes to women, by women mostly the disturbances are coming from outside. The time, the kids, mostly, or machshavas about something, but it's not coming from the yesod of who the person is. This inyan of pagam habris is mostly a male. It's mostly a male problem, and therefore, for the most part, you see that by women, davening is something which is very comfortable, it's very natural, and it's very sweet and very simple. All the davening of our mothers, our grandmothers, our wives, and our daughters, and so on. But when it comes to guys, davening is a much bigger challenge, because the bilbulim come from not only, but much of that lack of das, the inability to stay focused and concentrate, comes from that shorish of pagam habris. This is the tzaddikim speak about arichas. We've spoken about it over the years as well. It causes a tremendous mania. First of all, there's the shame and there's the guilt. That's very obviously, it's in the way of davening. You're coming to talk to Hakadosh Baruch Hu, and the reason what you see that one of the first telltale signs of a bacher that's struggling is when it comes to his davening. It's one of the first signs. Not when it comes to learning, because you have a bacher that likes to learn. He's smart. That's not, but he enjoys, and masa matan of Torah. But when it comes to a boy that's not doing well, so very often, again, not saying only, but very often, it has to do with this. You see it coming out in davening. I'm not talking about a little kid that doesn't want to go to shul. Because he just wants to. He doesn't know why we're going to shul. He just wants to play or stay in bed or something. I'm not talking about little kids. That's nothing. I'm talking about teenagers, and they're starting to get pimples and whiskers and stuff. So the inyan of davening, is not about emunah. Sometimes it has to do with emunah, but it really comes. Emunah is malchus. It comes from your side. The beginning of embarrassment and shame and discomfort with their bodies, which we'll talk about in the conversations that we're going to have with the kids. Some of this embarrassment and shame that they have, even talking to them, and that they're very, very. These boys are very frum. They were raised in a very frum way. All of you are raising beautiful children and trying that they should be Yashamayim. And because of their Yashamayim, they feel guilty. They even think about a girl. They feel terrible when they think about a girl. You invited some mishpach over, and there's a cute little cousin, and your son Friday night after the meal is thinking about this girl, and he feels disgusting. Even though it's totally normal, it's natural. They should be thinking about it. But all he knows is that this is an aveira. It's an aveira. What kind of a ben Torah am I, and how can I? And the first thing that goes is not learning. The first thing that goes is davening, because davening means that you're not embarrassed. You can talk that shot. And the boys feel embarrassed. Girls that have bechlal not an inyan. It's not just because they don't have to have a minyan and it's easier. They don't have shachar and chamar, and life is good. It's the boys. It's the embarrassment and the shame. It comes with this nisayin of Yosef HaTadik. So the schus of Yosef HaTadik that the tefillah should be answered. V'yichmu rachamecha aleinu to have rachmanis on us. V'soshiv panecha aleinu to turn your face towards us. In other words, Rabbi Nosson is saying that we should believe that no matter what we've done, you have turned your face. You're still facing us. It's not like somebody that you might know. I can't look at you. Hashem's face is he's always facing us. I was asked upon him. Asked upon is that we don't see that. That's what asked upon is. But Hashem is always facing. Aster panayim. It means you feel that way. But Hashem is facing us. So asking him, V'soshiv panecha eleinu. I feel like you're not looking at me anymore. I feel like I'm somebody that you don't want to look at. I'm asking you that I should know that you're looking at me, that you're still looking at me. Usamaher v'sochish l'garleinu v'sorvi lanus Mashiach tzidkeinu. To bring Mashiach, because these nisayonos are very, very, very hard, and we're asking that there should be a geula. V'lamancha asay v'loilon. V'azreinu shetia tfilaseinu musuderes karoi. And help us that despite all of these feelings that we have and the difficulty we have in davening, help us that the tefillah should be musuderes karoi, that we should be able to put our feelings into, we should be able to daven to say, to talk about these things. And that our davening should be with musuderes karoi. Now, what's musuderes karoi? She says, "V'sitan v'noseichel v'dash shanucha l'chalkel d'varenu b'mishpat." Shanucha l'chalkel d'varenu b'mishpat v'lo nikoshel b'imei pinu v'lo nita b'tfilasenu l'yom l'smol b'naderech hayoshev emes. So what's he talking about over here? Again, everything is, the sherish of everything is very Nachman's Taurus, but just without going to this arichas, it's a very big arichas. Rabbi Nassim speaks about this a lot in many places. The whole davening in Shushan with Mordechai and Esther, I mean, a lot on this Indian. What does it mean that the davening could be, we're asking Hashem that please help that my davening should be straight, and I shouldn't go to the right, and I shouldn't go to the left. What does that mean? We know that when it comes to mitzvahs, it says Leisosa. We know there's Yom and Small. What does it mean that my davening should not be to the right or the left? So there are two dangerous extremes to the right and to the left, which when it comes to davening, right of course is chesed, and left is gvur. So what does it mean when you're too much of a right winger when it comes to davening? What's a right winger with davening? Right is chesed, and that's when a person has this feeling like, I don't really even have to daven, because Hashem loves me and He knows what's good for me. So, like what's this whole thing with davening? Like, what do I have to put so much koiches into my davening? So this is the side of the right where it needs to be b'mishpat. B'mishpat means it needs to be the right measure. The right measure that a person knows that Hashem does love you, and therefore you can always turn to Him, and He'll listen to your tefillah. But don't come to this maskana that what? I need to daven. Baruch Shalom loves me. Everything is good. He'll take care of it. That's very dangerous. So that's when a person's mishpat, when his judgment of davening and his way of thinking of himself vis-a-vis HaKadosh Baruch Hu is too much to the right. It's too much to the right. That is taken away from him the ratzon to daven. He doesn't feel that there's a need to daven. On the other hand, you have a left winger. So the left side is the opposite. What's the shaykh for me to daven? It's already fafal. I can't. There's no point in me daven because all the different things I've done wrong and for different reasons, or then it could start to get all philosophical and theological. And the left side of davening is din, and din means that a person has such a din on himself and the way that he looks at things is that there's no tachlis in my davening. Because I can't do anything about that. I can't change anything. So what's the point? It's an interesting thing that Noach. One of the tinus against Noach. Akadei kach that the Haftarah yesterday it says Mei Noach. It's called the water is the marble. It's called the marble of Noach. That's a pretty strong thing. Noach says that it doesn't say of anybody else. He's tzaddik. It says he was an tzaddik. At the same time, we see that Kivyachal on some level that this tzaddik was blamed for the marble. So the Zohar Kodesh Chazal talk about could he have done more to save the generation? But Chazal also revealed to us that Noach knew. How did he know? He knew that he was a tzaddik. He knew a lot of things that we don't know, and that Noach knew that unless there are 10 tzaddikim in the generation, it's gunish nishelven. It's not going to work. It's not going to work. Unless there are 10 tzaddikim in the generation, there's no way to save the world. Unless there are 10 tzaddikim. He knew that. So then why is there a time against Noah? Because he knew that there was no to'elis, his davening was not going to work. So why would there be a taina? The Zohar uses a very strong thing about Noah. Why would there be a taina against Noah if he knew that it could not possibly, his davening would be completely ineffective? So what was the point?
He didn't try.
He didn't?
He should have tried. He didn't try.
Try or cry?
Try.
I didn't hear what you said. Try. You said with a T. Try. Well, why try? No, I thought you said cry. Cry is the right answer. So should have stayed with that. I gave you a Pesach month. You blew it. So he didn't cry. It's not my fault. Reb Chaim Shmulevitz said this, and he not only did he say, but he told over something with himself, which I'll share with you. Reb Chaim Shmulevitz said, "Nachon, there was no point in Noach's davening because he knew me'achuz, it's not going to work. So how come? So why is there a time that you should have davened?" So the Teretz is, Reb Chaim Shmulevitz said, "How could you stand there and watch the world go down? Okay, you saved your neck and you saved your family and all of that, but you watched the world go down. And how did you hold yourself back from davening? Why didn't you cry? How could you not cry?" And Reb Chaim Shmulevitz said that when the yeshiva guys got the visas to leave Vilna, you all know what I'm talking about, to get out of Vilna, because they weren't sure which was going to be worse. That either the Nazis were coming or they're going to start with the communists. But the people who were staying in Vilna were going to get it. Either going to get killed physically or imprisoned, or the Yiddish crowd was going to be whatever. It was not good to stay in Vilna. So the guys were able to get the visas, and most of them went to Japan, Shanghai. The whole story. So Reb Chaim Shmulevitz said that he was one of them, that he had the visa, and all the guys got together by the train station. They were going to make that big trip across Russia to get to Japan, and he said that there were many of the Jews of Vilna came to see them off. And Reb Chaim Shmulevitz said many times that we looked into the eyes of those Jews who were doomed. And we saw in their eyes two things. We saw that they were happy for us, that we got the papers and we're getting out. But there was something else in their eyes. And Reb Chaim Shmulevitz said we didn't see that because we were so excited to get onto the train. And because we had the visas, we were so excited to get on the train. And Reb Chaim Shmulevitz used to say, I live with that look of the eyes of the eyes of the Jews of Vilna to this day. I can't get it out of my head. But how come we were just happy about our visas? He said that there was this excitement and happy. So were they able to save the Jews of Vilna? They couldn't get visas for them. There's no way to get them out. And there was a shechita there. We all know what happened. They couldn't get them out. But Reb Chaim said, even though I couldn't get them out, how did I we got on the train. That was it. We're off. So you see, there's such a thing that when it comes to davening, it can be too much to the right, it can be too much to the left. And even though Noach had every reason in the world, there's no tachlis. You see, there's no time against Avraham Avinu. Even though Avraham Avinu also came to how many people would be, and he knew, but Avraham Avinu didn't stop. Avraham Avinu to the last second. Avraham Avinu was trying. Even though he also had a Kabbalah, he had to have a certain amount of tzaddikim in order that the tefillah should be able to save the city of Sdom. And these were not good people. Reb Chaim Shmulevitz talks about that in that shmuz, about Avraham Avinu, the davening. But Avraham Avinu wouldn't stop. Avraham Avinu wouldn't stop davening. There's no toelis in this. There's such a thing as crying in such a way that even though the Shara Demos of tears, that it could be such a thing that could be piled even though the davening officially is not able to be piled. But the person has to be careful. That's what Vanessa is talking about. That when you're davening, you have to stay. The davening has to be kamishpa, not too much to the right, like I don't need to daven. Everything's okay. But the other side, the left, is that it's hopeless. There's no point in davening. You have to be in that place. It's just the right balance, which is hard. And what Rabbi Nosson is talking about in this field is based on Rabbi Nachman, is that when a person's paigim chalila, when there's pagam habris, it messes up that bezdin inside your head. That mishpat in your head gets messed up. You're not able to. It takes away a healthy rational, logical way of thinking about the importance of tefillah. That you're not able to be masada your tefillah because of Pagam HaBris.
Rebbe, doesn't Yom Kippur in a way make us feel like there's no to'eles in our davening for the rest of the year? Because besides the Shard Mos, besides that, I always feel that way, that the regular davening, I feel like, what's really the point? Because Yom Kippur, it was all decided. We poured our hearts out on Rosh Hashanah Yom Kippur, right? And the rest of the year, like, what I do feel that. What is the to'eles? Unless I'm crying, Shard Mos are always open. So it's nothing to do with the right or the left.
No, but explain, Moshe, what do you mean? Why?
Because a Yom Kippur, between Rosh Hashanah and Yom Kippur, you daven and everything is decided then, right? So what's the point of your davening 3 weeks later?
Don't you know Masechta Rosh Hashanah by heart?
But,
The Gemara says, Adam nidain b'chol yom.
right.
The Zichru people now are locked in battle. Yeah, good. Hashem. It shows Tivchanenu to be judged every single hour. I'll explain to you that. I hear what you're saying. There's a Torah from the Yosef HaTadik Susirlenu. Which Jews are the ones that bring down our brachas? The Khan, right? So even the letters of Aaron's name are the Oisius that Yosef HaTadik. Alter Rebbe already said this before. That the letters of Aaron are nira, right? Nira means seen, that which is seen. That means that what the Tzemach Tzedek, based upon the grandfather's teachings, what the Tzemach Tzedek explains, the whole need of Bechas Kahanim. So what do we need? What's the Kahanim Aduchening? What's that? So what the Tzemach Tzedek explains is the following: that on Rosh Hashanah Yom Kippur, we put in all those tefillas, and the person has, like, on account, these tefillas, on account. He has it in his oitzer, in Shemayim. He has, on account, those tefillas, and all the percussions, and all the things. He has that on account. The din of Adam Nidim B'chol Yom, so then why do we need to daven? So he explains that journey of the tefillah, first of all, to dislodge it from the account, to withdraw, I guess we would say nowadays, to withdraw from the account, and to bring it down from the highest, that olam, that world, and to draw it down, that it should come down through the olamas, and by each stage along the way, there's a din, there's a bezdin, and to draw that tefillah, to withdraw from the account of my Rosh Hashanah, my strong Rosh Hashanah Yom Kippur, depending how you daven, that strong Rosh Hashanah Yom Kippur account, to draw it down till it should be near v'nigla, in this world. So we need every single day. We sit down, why do I have to say today? Why did I just say now, all of a sudden, an hour ago, 2 hours ago, Slach Lana V'Chatan? We already finished Gandhi. We asked Hashem, Slach Lana V'Chatan. The teretz is because Rosh Hashanah Yom Kippur is to establish a perspective of truth and of tshuva, and to gather together a strong arsenal of hishtadlus, of tshuva and of tefillah. And then Hashem says throughout the year, okay, now let's see what happens to this. What do you want to do with this? Do you want to withdraw from your account, or you leave it sitting in the account? You want to withdraw? And the good thing about withdrawing is that it doesn't empty out the account. You withdraw, it's like when we were first married, we had this bank account, and no matter how much I took out, I found out only later on. My father kept on putting in money into the account. And we weren't buying it just to make a Shabbos, so I was just in yeshiva then. So it's a good account, but when you have this account, so then every single tefillah, 3 times a day, Shachris and Chemar, Adam Nidim B'chol Yom, and then you have like the big Ohavi Yisrael, our Kahanim, who are like our attorneys, and they're fighting for us in court. And when they say Yirach Hashem v'Yishmerecha and Yoash Hashem v'Chonaka, and you even hear in the words, they're trying to help us to draw it down, and that we should have this ischaskus, and to draw it down from the accounts of Am Yisrael, that it should be nearer, it should be the pile, that these tefillas that we daven should be recognized and realized and activated in our lives. So every single day, is Adam Nidan B'chal Yom and B'chal Shah that we're being judged. So Rosh Hashanah Yom Kippur is to set up your own personal account, And during the year, our davening and our shtadlus and our tshuva is to be able to draw from the account. Does that help at all?
Yeah.
It would be much better to look inside. If you look in Derech Mitzvah Secha of the Tzemach Tzedek on the mitzvah of Nisias Kampayim of Birchas Kahanim, there the Tzemach Tzedek really explains it very, very strong, very clear. But I'm glad you asked it, because I understand what you're asking. It's a big yesod in our davening and to understand what Rosh Kippur is. Therefore, we all have, like the Sfarim said, after Yom Kippur, you feel very, very. Lech echel b'simcha lachmecha. You feel great after Yom Kippur. Not necessarily for silly reasons, because you can eat, but you feel pneumius. You feel lech echel b'simcha lachmecha. Kirasel kimis ma'asecha. It means that it's a great feeling to make a huge deposit in the account. It's a great feeling. I have an account. You know, remember this happened to me like twice over the last 50 years. That I went to my favorite farm store, and because I never. It's always he has on the wall. He has with my account. So it happened like twice over the years that I got some svarim, and Aaron said to me, it's okay. I said, what do you mean it's okay? He said, you have an account. Because I gave last time. I put in something because I don't even know what I don't even ask him anymore. What I just try to put in every now and then, and he says, "You're ahead." So that feels great, no? I mean, I don't have to do anything. No, enjoy. It's on account. I have on account. So we have a great feeling after Yom Kippur, and especially the Simchas Torah, and we have on account all of this good stuff, and now every single day, Adam Nid B'char. But here's the catch is that that to withdraw requires an effort. Withdrawing from the account doesn't mean just pressing a button on the computer. Withdrawing means that I connect. I'm asking to be able to have this, to be able to have this forgiveness today. And you talk to Hashem. There's a crying, Shari Demas is something special, but even with this talking to Hashem, I messed up. I just said this Lashon Hara this afternoon in the office. I shouldn't have said that. And I'm asking you to help me and forgive me for that. I'm going to try to be better tomorrow. And you could say to Hashem Yisbarach, and I davened the whole Rosh Hashanah. I was davening Yevinu Malkeinu. I davened that you should help me that I shouldn't be nechshel in this Indian. And I said Al Cheish Chatan El Fanecha. And I said the Al Chayes, all about Lashon Hara B'chilas. I said all the Al Chayes, and I meant it when I said it. And I had such a flaw today in this Indian. I'm asking that I should help me to become better and help me to bring from the or of that tefillah and all my tefillahs when I was fasting Yom Kippur, to bring the or of forgiveness that you forgave me in Yom Kippur, to bring it into this day, into Beis Cheshvan, to bring it into my life now. With your midas harachmim, that it should come into my life now, and that's really what davening is. That's it. We're drawing from those accounts that we made. And there are different times of an Eis Ratzon where they're like incentives, like you have with certain programs. There's an incentive that you can take out more. So, like when it comes to the Torah Shel Sudas, mincha on Shabbos is an Eis Ratzon, so there are incentives. There are different. You can. Like you have like 2 fours you used to have. You can get you buy one ice cream, they give you another one, and like I told you once when I was in the country, all the Chassidim would come 12 o'clock at night to ShopRite, and they had when they get back from the city at 12, they come up shopping to ShopRite, and I remember we used to in the summer be near there. And I would go to the ShopRite. I guess it was in Monticello, and they had this like sale. They had a sale on Pepsi. There was 2 for 1 or something. It was crazy, like a great deal. And the place was mobbed with Jews, totally mobbed with Jews. And people buying cases of Pepsi. And I was at the cash register, and this Chassidish guy, and this sweet, hick at the cash register. So she said, like, Mom, you're asking this. I don't mean anything bad. Like, what's going on here? With the Pepsi over here, like, what's going on? Because there were lines. I was also one. Like, there were lines like getting Pepsi over here. So this chassid says to look. There are 12 tribes. You understand? She goes, what? In Israel, we have 12 tribes. She says, yeah. Well, there are 12 cans and a box. So the 12, anything with 12. And we're sitting there online. This guy's saying this. He's giving he's saying over a mimer to this girl, and she goes, "Wow." I just couldn't believe this. Like, Mika Amchi Yisrael.
She lives in Borough Park now, right?
Yeah, that's the end of the story. She converted, and she sells dresses in the basement.
No tax.
Of course. Ay, Vazrein Brachim Echarab. Lishmas Abris Kodesh. Vazrein Brachim Echarab. Lishmas Abris Kodesh. It's not enough to learn at the daven. Vazrein Brachim Echarab. Lishmas Abris Kodesh. Rachmin Batzilenu. Batzilenu. Oisonu Veskol Amcha Beis Yisrael. To daven for other Jews, not just for ourselves. I'm not going to the whole question. You know that we have many fields where we daven, even for the ruchnis of other people. Even though it's his bechira, we can have an effect upon that as well. It's a chazanish, and Sefer Hikarim, and many things I'm not going to right now. But the daven for other Jews, that they should to help them. There's a huge problem in the world with this. To help them. There's kol amcha beis Yisrael mikol minei pagam shel niyuf, that there shouldn't be from any type of pagam of niyuf, of chalila, of immorality, of adultery, chas v'shalom. Hein b'riyah. Niyuf is something. Adultery is not only something that takes place, God forbid, by a specific physical act, doing that act, but even when it comes to what I look at, a person's married, but you're looking at somebody else. That's niyuf. It's not. It's not, of course, punishable, and it's not the niyuf. It's not the adultery of the asav zadirus, but it's a madrega of niyuf. Looking at something you're not supposed to look at is niyuf. Hein b'machshava, and even if you're not looking, thinking about somebody else, it's niyuf in machshava, in one's thoughts. The dibur, the ma'aseh, saying things. We know that we spoke a lot about the connection between the pagam habris and the bris haloshen. It's also very much connected. It's Yesod and Malchus, and the words that a person uses to say things that are not pure, that are not clean, to say things that are inappropriate, to chalila, to say extra words. You have somebody in the office, a girl, something to talk, and to flirt, or chas v'shalom, whatever it might be. Each person knows of a ma'aseh. B'kol ha'chamisha chushim, and with all of the chamisha chushim, with my senses, my ears, my eyes, and so on, my mouth. B'kulam tishmerenu v'sat, not to listen to things I shouldn't be listening to. B'kulam tishmerenu v'satzilenu mikol minei pagam habris. All of these, to save me mikol minei pagam habris. Rak tazvenu liyos kedoshim u'tarem b'kulam, that I should be able to purify all of my chushim, my eyes, my ears, even my nose. If you look in the Imran Chav Aleph, here Rabbi Nachman speaks about the face of a Jew. That's the Chav Aleph. So there Rabbi Nachman speaks about the face of a person being a menorah. The two ears and the shape of the face and the eyes and the two nostrils and the mouth, as the base and so on. He speaks about the menorah b'ha'loischas haneros. Shmir Seinaim, and guarding one's senses, one's eyes, one's ears, so that the fire of a person's menorah, the fire of Yiddishkeit can only be when a person takes care of the menorah. The menorah means of one's eyes and one's ears and even when it comes to smelling and one's mouth and so on, to guard the menorah. You look in Chaf Aleph, you'll see the and then only then can the shalhevis be oilem me'aleh, the shalhevis of one's davening. If a person's menorah is messed up, then the menorah, the candles can't burn. The candles don't burn. The candles could burn when the menorah is intact. So that's the chushim of a person, the sense of a person. Ona Hashem, Rachman ha'emes. Hashem, only you're the Rachman ha'emes. Only you're the one that has true Rachmanis. Without any other cheshbainis. Rachman ha'emes. Molei Rachman. Chamar la'ma'asecha. Chamar la'ma'asecha. Ha-Rachmanis, you created. Chamar la'ma'asecha. That takes us back to davening for Rosh Hashanah Kippur, right? Chamar la'ma'asecha. Ha-Rachmanis, you created. V'siftach pi v'libi, and open up my mouth and my heart. Shuchel faresh sichasi lefanecha. I should be able to explain, talk to you in an honest way. To be able to explain to you, to speak to you in an honest way. Lefaresh sichasi lefanecha. Ve'eske lo'ira rachamecha ha'amitim alai. And if I could be honest with you, that we ma'ira yerachamim ha'amitim, because only you're the Rachman Hamas. Only you have pure Rachmanis. But you're waiting for me to speak to you in an honest way. Shetirachem alai me'atam. That you should have Rachmanis on me. Besazuli she'eske l'kadosh l'tar asim b'kedushas habris, to purify myself in b'kedushas habris. And asim me'atam mikol minei pagam habris shavalim haver eina mir'oishav, not to see anything that I shouldn't see. B'drachecha chayeni. Kol masha pagamti ad ata b'ris kodesh. Now I'm talking about the past, and anything that until now, anything that I have damaged until now, b'ris kodesh. Ala kol, I'm asking you for all of this. Timchol v'sislach li, forgive me. Moichel v'salem, rachamecha harabim, v'chasadecha ha'atzumim. Hein masha pagamti b'machshava, whatever pagam b'ris there was in my mind, in my thoughts, of a dibur, my words, of a maisa. Hein masha pagamti b'riyas ha'ayin, any pagam that I've done in the past when it comes to the things that I've looked at, what I've seen, or b'shmiyas ha'ozen, or things that I've listened to, b'chush harech, or things that I have smelled, ben b'shoigeg, ben b'mezid, whether it was by mistake or whether it was intentional, ben b'oines, or whether it was mamish against my will, or b'rotzen, or willfully, b'chol minei pagamim shepagamti b'pagam habris, any pagamim that I have been paigim b'pagam habris, those things that I remember, those things that I can't remember. Ala kol timchol v'sislach li, I'm asking you to forgive me. Chanun ha-marvelous lach, that Hashem is chanun, He's compassionate and He's marvelous lach, marvelous lach. He has a lot of forgiveness to give to us. L'man shimcha Hashem b'salach la'avoyni ki ravhu. L'man shimcha Hashem b'salach la'avoyni ki ravhu. It's l'man shimcha. Because ultimately it's for your sake, and you want that I should be better, and I want to be better. So it's l'man shimcha b'salach la'avoyni ki ravhu, to forgive me for my sins ki ravhu. L'shirachem alai. I'm asking you to destroy, to completely take away, and to subdue, and to be mevatel any ksharm v'avosos, knots, or ropes, shalshelas, or chains, knots, or ropes, chains, the sitra of the other side. Shenikshu v'nigdu al yedei avonai rubim. That because of the many affairs that I've done in my life, I've tied together knots and thick ropes and terrible chains that I feel that are binding me, that are holding me to things that are not good, and I don't know how to break these chains. It started off as a little string, then a little kesha, and then from a little kesha it went to a rope, and then from a rope it went to a chain, and I feel that I'm chained. That I'm chained to these things. And I don't know what to do. That my affairs, that my many affairs have already created these chains and these ropes that I don't know how to free myself. I made these chains. You created me pure. I made these chains. I made these ropes, these chains, and I feel that they're always pulling me. They're stronger than me. And I feel that they're just pulling me. Chas v'shalom. From one pagam to another pagam. And I feel bad. I say I don't want to do this, and I feel like I don't have bechira. That it's just pulling me. V'ein manichem I see. V'kadesh l'tar atzmi be'emes karoi. And these chains that I made, I put this stuff together. And these ropes and these chains are pulling me from one thing to another. I don't know how, b'chlal. They don't allow me, l'kadesh l'tar atzmi be'emes karoi. They don't allow me, l'kadesh l'tar atzmi. Even when I'm not looking at the thing, I'm still thinking about it, and I can't, it's pulling me. L'kadesh l'tar atzmi be'emes karoi. That I should be able to purify, to be completely pure of all of this. And therefore we're asking Hakadosh Baruch Hu, we're asking Hashem to destroy these ropes and take away all of these chains and to be mavatal all of these ropes and all these chains. That has a lot to do with all the with Kol Nidrei and Hataras Nedarim, right? But Hataras Nedarim and Kol Nidrei, the whole avoid of Hataras Nedarim and Kol Nidrei, everybody knows, is because we're chained by these Nedarim that we made, so to speak, to the other side, by the affairs that we've done, and committing ourselves to things that we shouldn't be doing, that has created a feeling of I'm obligated to do this, like an Edom. So I'm obligated to look at this thing. I'm obligated to do this Aveira, to think about this, or I'm obligated to say this thing that I shouldn't say. It feels like an Edom. So Kol Nidrei and Hataras Nedarim, it's all to be able to be free from these chains, from these ropes of my own self-imposed. What's an Edom? Nether you took upon yourself something. Hashem didn't do that to you. A nether means something you made yourself. So Hashem made the kind of neshama shesat to be tahiri. The neshama that Hashem gave each one of us is pure. So then, what's going on in my life? The teretz is, Hema bikshu cheshban Yisrael. You made these nedarim, and you made these chains that are holding you back and not allowing you to find this kedusha and this tahar in your life. So I'm asking, therefore, I'm so far from kedushas habris, which is fitting. What's fitting for an ish Yisraeli, for a Jew? Zera av mitzvah Yaakov. I'm a descendant of Av Mitzvah Yaakov, and this life that I'm living is not fitting. It doesn't become. One of the children, one of the descendants of Avram, Yitzchak, and Yaakov, Shebehem Bacharta, you chose us because we, Ramam Tanu, Bachartanu, Ramam Tanu, we're supposed to be higher than all this stuff. So what did I do? And how could I have done this? And I'm stuck in this cycle that I don't know how to get out of. So we're asking Kosh Baruch to help me, to get me out of these ropes that are binding me to something that's not holy, that's not pure. Hashem is up there again, just to learn, to begin to develop a sprach, a language, a safa of Jews that are davening, Jews that are davening, not just learning about these things, but they were davening. I don't know if we'll maybe do a little bit more, because there are a few more pages I want to do, maybe a little bit more. If you find it helpful, if not, I don't know. We'll see. But in the meantime, we have now for 12:09. Do we have a minion for 12:09? Let's just take a look. Okay. Yeah. So upstairs or downstairs?
Downstairs,
yeah. Okay, 12:09.
Some guys that say just stir up.
Oh, stay. Yeah.
Shalom.